On December 7, 1941, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, marking the beginning of a serious conflict between the United States and Japan, and also setting in motion an anti-Japanese sentiment that would eventually result in one of the biggest breaches in constitutional justice the United States has ever seen. After a significant amount of pressure from the Secretary of War, Harry L. Stimson, to put Japanese Americans into detention camps, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066 on February 19, 1942. This led to the forcible internment of any person, citizen or not, who is of Japanese descent living on American soil. This was the beginning of one of the worst acts of heritage destruction in the history of America. What followed was one of the largest migrations of people ever in modern times. The United States government moved over 110,000 individuals into 10 different camps. Of those forcibly interned, over two-thirds were actually citizens of the United States, and many were children. In the process of moving, families were forced to leave anything that they could not easily transport. They closed their jobs, left their farms, and thereby changing their lives forever. Japanese Americans became a full-on scapegoat for the acts of war committed by the Japanese Empire. The living conditions inside the camps were very rough. The average amount of money spent by the American government for food per person per day was less than 50 cents. Each individual restroom and shower facility building served well over 200 internees. Each camp had its own internal military security and had its external boundaries guarded by military personnel. After risk reevaluation by the American government, the internees' release began in 1942. The last internees were removed from the camp on May 20th, 1942. It took the government almost 50 years to officially admit any wrongdoings and to try and make repatriations, done with the Civil Liberties Act of 1988, signed by President Reagan. Each person who was interned was awarded $20,000, a pittance in comparison to all that the internment camps took from their lives and their heritage. Manzanar served as one of the most prominent camps during the internment period. It is a National Historic Site that serves as a reminder of the injustice that occurred with the internment of innocent Japanese Americans. Although Manzanar does an excellent job of reminding us of the atrocity that occurred, it fails to remind us of the people whose lives were affected. Throughout the years, the stories and heritage of the people that were in the camps are lost. We become less and less connected to how this event really shaped lives. That is where the Heritage Network comes into play. We want to remember the people, the stories, and the culture that the internment camps so directly imposed upon. We want to remember what really happened at Manzanar.